Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome to another Carb Fusion video. As you guys already know, Tommy Lee Sparta has done 2 songs aimed directly at Alkaline and Associates, right? Personally for me, my favorite song was, what's the other? Not a Badness. The other one, Darkness Rise. And simply because I found the wordplay to be a lot better, especially when he said, I'm ready for murder them. Turn on the video, to me that was like something from the Middle East where, like, I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna kill you publicly. And that was kind of the imagery that I got in my mind when he made that song. Not gonna lie, I think the songs, both of them, are hard hitting songs. And what's quite nice is that, people who are longtime fans of Tommy Lee are saying, you know what, this is the Tommy Lee that we're used to from back in the day. Because I think over the last year or so, it was more that, like goth music with dancehall overtones. I think with these 2 songs, it was more dancehall with gothic overtones. And this is the Tommy Lee that people are used to. They're saying he's going hard. I think he went really hard. However, this topic is not to actually review the songs, but will the songs be good enough to get an answer from Alkaline? And also, what is the beef? What is the history? Why is it that, these songs are even in circulation to begin with? So this is what this video is about. It's going to be about the history of the beef between the 2, and will Alkaline answer, or the reasons why I think he won't answer. So stay tuned, stay with me, and I'm just gonna break it down bit by bit and take it from there. Yeah. Okay, so a lot of you are already familiar. I'm gonna be using some bits from On Stage. When Alkaline first jumped out on the scene, I guess he kind of pissed a lot of people off because he didn't say the magic 4 words in dancehall, or the magic 5 words, which is big up Vybz Kartel. I don't know how many words that is, but he didn't say that. And since then, it's been sort of a vendetta against him. So he hasn't paid homage to the man before him, and people find that very offensive. So obviously, Tommy Lee Sparta is a part of, Gaza Empire, if you want to put it this way. Vybz Kartel is his daddy, quote unquote. So, obviously, from that point of view, there's going to be hurt feelings. But also, when Alkaline came out, he, was very unapologetic about just not feeling the artists that were, he was sized up against constantly. And the 2 people were Gage and Tommy Lee. Most people will know that already. And he threw shots at them, saying, I think he actually killed Gage's career by asking what is a Gage. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Gage actually recovered from that. But also with Tommy Lee. And they've, consistently called him out, and he never responded. Okay? And so that was one of the things. So for a while, it was sort of a back and forth thing between Alkaline and Tommy Lee. One person saying something else in an interview, the other person saying something else in an interview. Here's a clip of that.
He took a shot at Alkaline saying this.
Listen, I may not be youngest, but I'm a baddest thing.
Alkaline responds.
Baddest what? I mean, alright. Right now, every artist in a dance style just a try. This me forget a hype. But, I mean, I just saw it go when you're the man at the top here, so I say everybody just try and try to drain the energy. But I just saw it go, make him do him thing. So I'm not there for fighting, man. So maybe just do my thing, and the people them gravitate to me and nobody else. So I say so. For them, I just say a bit.
Kind of cowards, they go clash, isn't it?
There was also an incident when both of them were traveling to Trinidad for a show where Tommy Lee, he was sitting on the end seat, or Heavy D was sitting on the end seat, and he swapped seats so that he could sit beside Alkaline and jam him into the window seat, and kind of saying, mega see if him gonna move kind of thing, and it was kind of a weird experience actually, because I didn't see the point in doing that, but actually that event actually happened. So obviously they never like him because, Alkaline just refused to clash with them. So, I'm saying fast forward 2016, at the end of 2016, why I think Alkaline will not answer. I'm just going to break it down one by one. Number 1. Okay, so Alkaline has already addressed Tommy Lee in his song, Declare Where You Have. You've heard that song already. I think it was released early last year, all who style me for just declare where you have. And he spoke about the plane incident, saying what kind of asset, what career you have. You know what I'm saying? So he threw direct shots at, Tommy Lee without actually calling his name. So if he's already addressed him in 2005, I don't see why he will then come back and address Tommy Lee over the same plain issue again. You know what I'm saying? In fact, go and listen to that song. He's saying, you don't have nothing, so why should I answer you, is kind of the main breath of the song, what he's trying to say. So he's addressed him and declare what you have already. 2016 come a year and a bit later. Why? So that's number one why I think Alkaline is just not going to repeat himself and answer Tommy Lee, no matter how good the song is. And I do agree the songs are actually hard-hitting, but I don't think he's going to answer based on that one. Number two, Tommy Lee has been sort of absent from the dancehall scene in many ways. If you think about it, the year that Alkaline has had, if you were to compare it with Tommy Lee's, Tommy Lee would have underperformed in comparison to Alkaline. So that's another thing. The person who really needs to clash is Tommy Lee, not Alkaline. So at this point in time, number two, I'm looking at intention. Why would Alkaline, if 2015 he addressed you already, gonna come when 2016 he's had a better year, now go back to Tommy Lee and say, okay, I'm gonna answer you now? That's why I don't think he's gonna answer. Number three, banana haters, just undercover fans. The more them hate me, the more my pocket give thanks. Right now I feel like me at the new Shabba ranks. All who style me, just declare where you have. Banana hater, just undercover fans. Now, here's the reasoning on this one. And this is the reason why going line for line, shot for shot, when you're dissing your component is not always the best way forward. Tommy Lee has shown that he knows the lyrics to Tom Tom. He knows the lyrics to 12 p.m. He knows the lyrics to, Extra Lesson. He knows what happened to him like a year and a half ago with someone throwing a bottle at him on stage. Now, if you were not interested in Alkaline, and this is the reasoning why I think he will not answer him. If you weren't interested in him and his music and what he's doing, that, I as a listener and a fan of dancehall didn't even know that happened until I listened it in a song. So Alkaline could very well say, well, you're a fan because you know my songs more than I do. You're referencing Tom Tom, you're referencing, Badness in name and so forth. So it comes across to some listeners as fanfare. I should know your songs inside out. That means you have studied me. Again, Alkaline might take it as a compliment. Alkaline fans, I don't know. Alkaline fans, do you want to see him go up against Tommy Lee? And tell me the reasons why. But from kind of where I'm sitting, you look like a fan. You look like a massive fan because you know all his songs word for word, line for line. You know what experiences he's had on tour. And it's not a good look for you, I don't think. It didn't come across as a smart move. So yes, the song is hard hitting, but you come across as you know too much and that you care too much. So sometimes having that element of, not giving a shit comes across better than saying, I know what's happening in your songs. I know what happens to you on tour, and I'm going to use it against you. It comes across as being way too interested in someone who is your opponent. Just enough to gauge the person's interest, the listener's interest would have been enough. But again, that's my opinion. But it does, understand where I'm coming from, obviously. I'm not trying to diss the artist or anything like that, but I'm just saying, just look at it from where I'm coming from. And if you notice, when Vybz Kartel was clashing a man, he didn't actually give that much information like Tommy Lee did in his song against Alkaline. He threw some subliminal shots and retracted some things. So I think that's where Tommy Lee went wrong. He showed his hand. Basically, Alkaline can just turn around and be like, checkmate. Manoide, watch me. You want to be like me. You're trying to be like me. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's kind of the theory that's going through my head. You don't have to agree with me, obviously. But I don't think Alkaline's going to answer. I don't think he's going to answer based on those three things. So tell me, guys. I mean, if you disagree with me, then obviously hit me up in the comment section down below. But do you think that Alkaline should respond to Tommy Lee. I think Tommy Lee's probably got some more songs that he'll just gonna go at it and go at it and go at it and go at it and go at it. I think there's probably gonna be a few more songs coming. Be my fourth reason why Alkaline will not respond. Number 4, he said these guys like kids. You know what I'm saying? They behave like children, especially with the plane incidents. So for it to be referenced again, 18, months later, nearly 2 years later, for me, I think it's game over.
That's what I say. In a year brain now, you go like I said, Jano, I see them beside the Alkaline in real life. Yo, every day, hold my phone, take a picture, Instagram, turn up. That's what I say. That's what I show you, say some man just like some little kids. That's what I say. Them brain in a matches box. That's what I say. Me not made the bridging. You see me? Because if you really check the statistics of the ratio, them are rugrat to win in every category. That's what I say. What make you think Mr. Queen? Joke.
Fair enough.
If the fans them say, yo, Alka, we want you to take on the youth, then we'll do it. I mean, I have no choice.
If your fans them say so. So
yeah.
What were your fans saying?
Obvious. I must say, don't pay them youth on the mind. So I say them thing, Lily. You see me? And from them said that, I say, okay, no problem.
So,
man, you couldn't really want to put me in them category. Come on, man.
Okay.
So I say a joke thing that ask the people, really, we shouldn't even talk about this right now. A joke thing that really.
Okay, so that is it. Do you think that Alkaline should respond? And actually, does it even matter whether or not Alkaline responds? Because from where I'm sitting, what Tommy Lee has done is he has shown what he is capable of doing. And I know that a lot of longtime fans of Tommy Lee is saying, you know what, this is a Tommy Lee that we know and love. It's so good to see him spitting fire again, which is true. So from that point of view, you know what I'm saying, he has shown what he can do. And yes, the beginning of Tommy Lee's year hasn't been the best. He's been going through a lot of stuff, a lot of fight. A lot of people don't understand the gothic dancehall thing. They're not trying to understand it. So he's getting a fight from that point of view. I mean, for myself, I like all things new. So I'm feeling what he's doing, absolutely, 100%. But again, should Alkaline answer? That is the question. Let me know what you guys think, okay, in the comment section, and I'll be back on the next video. Thanks for watching.